Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping.
The 10 most dangerous sports in the world. Many people from around the world consider sports a source of great fun and entertainment. From the players to the fans, it can be pretty interesting to see how a professional duel between expertly trained athletes turns out. But there's also a dark side to sports. Severe injuries, and sometimes even death. Yes, in quite a number of sports, there's a lot of physical contact involved, and I mean a lot. So much so that players have actually lost their lives doing the things they love the most. With that being said, let's look at 10 of the most dangerous sports in the world. From extreme sports to mixed martial arts, you won't believe what our top pick is for the most dangerous sport. Number 10. Base jumping. If you imagine hurling yourself off of an airplane 15,000 feet and thinking, wow, this is dangerous, then you, my friend, have not met base jumping adrenaline junkies. For these guys, that ain't challenging enough, apparently, and hence they choose cliffs and man-made objects like towers. Jumping from such heights may sound safe, but in reality, they tend to be trickier due to virtually no time available to deploy the parachutes or deal with any malfunctions that might occur. Base is actually an acronym for the type of objects people jump off. It can be anything from a building, the top of an antenna, a bridge, or a cliff. The sport was first coined by Carl Bonisch in 1978 and has grown in popularity since, especially for those who love pushing themselves to the limit. I don't know about you, but I'd rather stay at home and casually enjoy my root beer and chips while watching a football game. Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it, it really works. Number 9. Horse riding. Do you have hopes of becoming an equestrian someday in the future? Well, it might just be your death sentence. Sounds harsh, I know, but I'm just telling you as it is. I'm sure many of us have no idea that horseback riding also happens to be considered as a very dangerous sport. Fatal injuries and even deaths are caused every year by horse riding accidents. The most common cause of injury is getting trampled while on the ground near the horse. The hooves are very strong and dangerous and can easily deform your face or any soft cartilage in your body. Other injuries include getting thrown off of your horse or fatal kicks while leading the horse into the paddock. So, should you ever get that stallion you dreamed of, please do remember to exercise extreme caution. Like, really be careful. Number 8. Scuba diving. Scuba diving is an underwater sport that's gotten quite the following in America. This recreational sport involves scuba, an apparatus that helps you stay underwater for as long as possible so that you can sample marine life. While for some, the allure of scuba diving lies in the charm of underwater life, for others, it's the thrill of exploring a wreck or a cave. The danger in this sport chiefly lies in the changes in pressure. These changes in pressure could potentially rupture a lung, eardrums, or damage the sinuses. Prolonged exposure to high-pressure gases can result in the buildup of nitrogen and helium in our bloodstream, which may lead to damage to tissues, or the blocking of small blood vessels, or even shut down our supply of blood. Other casualties could be to failure of diving equipment. Number 7. Mixed martial arts, MMA. As one of the most dangerous sports in the world, MMA involves pitting two well-trained lethal fighters against each other and letting them slug it out until one fighter gets submitted, knocked out, or overpointed by the other. Over the years, I've seen some pretty brutal knockouts by fighters that left me wondering, man, did this guy trash talk about his family? I mean, how do these guys even survive some of these kicks and punches? Nevertheless, there have been stricter safety measures put in place to ensure that fighters don't get seriously injured while in the ring. Number 6. Jallikattu. Any sport that involves a live, enraged animal charging towards you is a death sentence. Be sure of that. But hey, if it's fun, better enjoy it, right? Jallikattu, or commonly known as bull taming, is a sport that involves bulls, though it occurs on a different continent with a different set of rules. Taking place in villages across Tamil Nadu during the Pongal, Thanksgiving for plentiful harvests, festival, this is a sport in which only one emerges the winner, man or bull. In one form of this sport, a person has to hold onto the bull for a specified time or distance to win, while a variant to this game involves releasing the bull into an open field with the participants trying to subdue the bull. It is so dangerous that more than 200 Indians have died in this sport over the last 2 decades. Also, due to protests by animal activists against the cruelty dealt to the beasts, the sport has been banned in the country, but it still takes place illegally. Number 5. Bull riding. Ain't nothing more Western than riding the rodeo the longest. Yeehaw! Yup, bull riding is a rodeo sport that involves staying mounted on a bull for as long as possible while the bull tries to buck off the rider. The very mention of mounting a 1,000-kilogram bull invokes jitters in many people, so I guess much needn't be said about the dangers involved in the actual sport. Long story short, you've gotta have balls of steel to take part in this event. It has been considered as one of the most dangerous sports in the world, with damage to the neck, head, and face, besides concussions accounting for most of the injuries. In 1989, a bull gored and punctured the heart of cowboy Lane Frost, making it compulsory for cowboys to wear protective vests made of ballistic material. This and a slew of other protective measures have brought down the accidents in the sport. But despite that, it still continues to be a brush with death. Number 4. Gymnastics. If you've ever seen a gymnast injured before, then you truly know what it means to dedicate your entire life to a sport. Gymnastics tests balance, strength, flexibility, and control. Though originally devised to test soldiers for war in the military, it is now an Olympic sport contested by many. This sport, which invokes an image of graceful women and men in leotards, has an ugly face to it too. Yes, I'm talking about all the dangers involved. Wrist fractures, spinal fractures, ankle sprains, cartilage damage, you name it. For example, Julissa Gomez was a victim of one of the worst accidents in gymnastics history. In May of 1988, months before the Olympics, during a warm-up, she slipped and slammed her head, resulting in a neck-down paralysis that lasted until her death in 1991. Number 3. Boxing. 1-2, boom! You're out cold. In a contact sport where the participant's sole goal is to punch his opponent, it doesn't come as a surprise that this isn't an injury-free sport. Statistics reveal that 90% of boxers suffer brain damage during the course of their career. They could even be prone to diseases like Parkinson's or Alzheimer's later in their lives. Sounds scary, doesn't it? But with the proper protective gear, the risk of sustaining injuries can be minimized. Oh, and also if you have a really good defense like Floyd Mayweather. Because, let's face it, he's one of the few boxers that looks like $1,000,000, quite literally and figuratively even, after having a long and dangerous career in the ring. And now we've come to the best pick of the day. As you can see, surfing is considered an extremely dangerous sport because of sharks and other wildlife that might want to make a meal out of you. Also, the tide can become pretty high, making it impossible to surf without risking your life. Number 2. Soccer. Soccer is ranked second on this list, mainly due to the high number of injuries that occur in this sport. This could simply be ascribed to the vast number of players playing football, but it still deserves a mention due to the frightening statistics of injuries and death. Statistics claim that there's a 75% chance of getting a concussion in this game, as opposed to 5% in other games. This is one of the reasons why risk assessment and medical treatment are taken very seriously in soccer. Every footballer is conscious of the risk to his body and brain throughout his career, but the sheer love for the sport and massive fan following keeps the fire alive in them. Number 1. Cycling. At last, we have come to our top pick. Surprised? Yep, biking, also called cycling, has some of the highest number of casualties in the history of sports. Many might immediately jump to the conclusion that the injuries can be ascribed to extreme mountain biking, while in reality the major cause of injury is, wait for it, other vehicles. This has been documented vividly in the film Premium Rush. Every second of the film will keep you on the edge of your seat. Such is the risk involved. The streets could prove to be an extremely dangerous place to frequent on your cycle and possibly be a gateway to the hospital. With that being said, we've come to the end of this video. So, which of these dangerous sports would you like to try out personally? Let us know in the comment section down below. But remember, safety always comes first. Want more videos that will exist until the end of time? Click on any of the videos you see on the screen. Once again, as always, thank you all very much for watching.